All right, guys, I finally get my hands on the Tag Heuer Link. This is the current generation of it. Now, these were released in 2017, and I think there's been some changes, if I'm not mistaken. They might be subtle, but let's cover that. Let's get into the watch size. Before we do that, I want to say big thanks to Richard over at Saltzman's. I'll put a link to Saltzman's in the description. Check them out. They are a Tag Heuer authorized dealer, as well as Breitling and a bunch of other brands. So definitely check them out and let Richard know, or the salespeople over there, let them know that Random Rob sent you, okay? All right, case size on this, it is a 41 millimeter watch. You can see right away this thing is basically, in my mind, the definition of sports watch slash jewelry. This thing, I connected, well, let's get into the size first before I get too carried away. 41 millimeter case, proprietary lugs and bracelet and everything. So I kind of just measured from here to here. So it's like 50 millimeter. So we'll just call it 41 by 50. So it's already singing to me for sure. It's only 11.4 thick to that flat sapphire crystal, and it has a display case back. We'll do a close-up on that in a minute. Now, if I just measured here, it's about 25 millimeter. The bracelet tapers down to 17. Now, this bracelet is kind of like the main reason that you're looking at this watch. It has a nice butterfly clasp, and that is to hold that design of the bracelet in line. They're kind of like Y links almost, or if you split that in half, they're kind of like S's or something. I don't know. It looks like a Y to me with a pinstripe going down the middle, basically, is what you kind of look like. Now, the overall design of the watch dial is very clean, legible, and sporty looking, I think. But if we take a closer look, you're going to notice really nice brushing on the case, polishing in many different layers. You also have a little bit of design elements here on this bezel where you can see it has four shapes to it. It's not just a round bezel. So that also carries over from the lower part of the case. I mean, this thing is just, there's something happening everywhere on this watch, but it doesn't show it off anywhere except for really with the bracelet. And that's, intentional. So the watch remains super legible and sporty, but then the bracelet is the jewelry side of it. And I think they nailed the combination personally. I do have to mention that the hour and minute hand for the dial size is perfectly sized. Look how far out that minute hand goes. It goes all the way out to the very ends, the outside points of those applied indices. So well done. Clean, unobstructed date at 3 o'clock. Just barely cuts off basically the polished extension part of the indice that you would see on all the others. So it really keeps its dial symmetry by doing it that way. You can see you have a push-pull crown here, and it does have a taper to it. The crown is, I think, about 6.5 millimeter. Still easy enough to operate and grab. Nice winding, and you do have some crown guards. And before I zoom back out, I want to show the movement. Now, the first time I looked at these, I think the first editions of them mostly had the Sellita SW200. I think that's what was in it. This is the ETA 2824. I say that because I was able to find on the movement somewhere, it said 25 joules. So the ETA 2824 is going to have the 25 joules. The Sellita is going to have the 26 joules. So they're using a upgraded ETA 2824 in there, and that's because you can see the perlage work and everything on there. So, and then of course their custom rotor. 100 meter water depth rating on this, and then look at the case to the bracelet fitment. And also on the backside of this bracelet, the bracelet is crazy comfortable. You can see it's very finely finished, and there's no screws or pins. So how do you size this thing? Well, see those little divots on the bracelet? I think you have to use a special tool. I've never sized one, and I have not seen how it's done. So if you guys know, let me know. I did hear someone say that it is not super easy to size. So if you're picking one of these up at an authorized dealer or something like that, you might want to just see if a jeweler can size it for you. I didn't want to do any poking around because this is a brand new watch, and the retail price on it is $2,950. So I'm sure you can get some sort of discount on these. There are different dial colors too. This black one looks amazing. There's a blue one, and then of course there's a white dial one. I have not had a chance to see the white dial one. This black one looks amazing. It's very jewelry-like. I know once it's sized, which would probably be like maybe a link on each side for me. This bracelet is so tight and flows amazing over wrist. This thing is going to wear so good. So backstory on the Tag Heuer link. When I went out on my trip to visit Bruce out in Salt Lake City, Utah, we visited a bunch of different watch places, like all over the place, downtown, and we went outskirts. And we got to check out a lot of cool watches. I mean, I even at one point had a like $100,000 full ever rose gold jeweled out Rolex on my wrist. And that was amazing, right? I can't even remember all the cool watches I was able to handle and try on wrist. And that whole trip, you can even check with Bruce on this. This watch, the Tag Heuer link, for some reason, when I tried it on at the AD there, it just felt like the quintessential jewelry watch, but still has an element of tool or masculine to it. I don't know. I really connected with it. So at one point, maybe I will own one. I'm not sure if it will be like a watch that will remain in my collection, but I definitely want to wear one for a while and enjoy it. So hopefully that'll happen one day. Now is not the time for me yet, but this is one of the watches that's in that queue. You know what I mean? How we all have kind of that queue of watches that we know that we're going to own at some point. This is that watch for me. So definitely check one out. If you guys are ever at a place that sells as authorized dealer for Tag Heuer, go put one on. You'll see what I mean. Just put it on wrist, and then you'll see. And then hit up my buddy Richard over at Saltzman's and get the best deal. All right, let's kill the lights so you can check the Loom on this. Tag Heuer usually does a pretty good job with Loom. So, yeah, they did a good job on this one too. So, yeah, I don't think I've been let down by a single Tag Heuer yet with the Loom. I mean, mostly I see the divers, but even on their sport watches like this, that is a killer application of Loom. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.